So earlier on my run, I did a little video while I was like, bro, I was in flow, and I was describing how, and I'll just redo it right now. So what I'm talking about when I'm experiencing all the, like the hermetic principles and stuff. So when I'm on a run, like I was saying earlier, like I was about to hit the 1 mile mark, and I could feel that I was approaching it, and that the resistance, like my subconscious, because I don't know if you've noticed, or like if you haven't, maybe take note to it now. We always like slow down, stop, quit, give up at 90%. We're almost there. We just haven't seen the results. We haven't gotten to the finish line. That happens with everything in our lives. Start tracking your miles and you'll see that you stop, you slow down. You're like a tenth of a mile away from the mile mark or whatever your goal is. If it's like, anyways. Um, so I was like saying how like I'm cooking, right? And I'm in flow state. And what I do is like I do this across the board, whether it's like when I'm running and I'm starting to feel resistance, or I have like big emotions coming towards me, or like anything that I think is about to be a block that's going to get in the way of me living through my like higher self. I can see it coming now. Instead of being like, oh man, this would happen to me, being in that lower state of victim mindset, I'm like, this is happening for me. And since I'm approaching it with this is happening for me, I'm like, so I'll be like, it's like in surfing, you have like sets of waves that come in, and it's like I can see the set coming in, right? So I'm like right at the break, which is where the waves like crash, and it's like that shit hits you hard, bro. You got to get past the break to ride the waves in, and I'm not letting anything carry me back to shore. I ain't starting over for nothing, bro. I made it this far. I might as well keep going. So I'll be like earlier when I was running, I was like, I could feel the resistance, and I knew I was making good time. I was like, my rhythm's good, my pacing's good. I can feel my breath and the way my body is moving. It's all fluid right now. I wasn't letting nothing stop me, bro. And I was like visualizing, like, all right, here it is. Like, I was like, I could feel myself trying to mess up my breathing. I could feel my knee trying to stop me. I could feel my mind trying to creep in. Because as soon as you start thinking, that's all you're doing when you're thinking about shit. Like when you're after a goal, is you're trying to stop yourself. That's all it is. It's your ego trying to shut you down, because your ego wants to thrive in this world. It doesn't want your higher self moving and operating out here. Let me make sure this bitch is recording. All right. um, so I'm like, all right, here's the first wave coming through. You know what I'm saying? I visualize a set of like three waves, right? And I'm like, here it is, here it is. Boom. Just duck dive that first wave, right? Boom, boom. And I'm still going, keep going. I'm not gonna let shit get in my way, bro. It's just like, here comes the barricade, boom, moving. Second wave, boom, duck dive that bitch. Third wave, boom, getting fucking clobbered by that motherfucker, bro. And then even if it hits me and I get set back a little bit, I'm aware that it was coming. I'm aware how it's affecting me, so I observe it and I go, you know what I mean? Like, and this is like a visualization of it. Like, I think about how, like, when I'm surfing and I get clobbered and I get all caught up in it, caught up in the emotion, caught up in the shortcoming, caught up in whatever it is that has got me stalled, froze up, whatever's got my energy bound up, instead of flowing out of me freely, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, the universe is in the silence. Let me get silent. Let me be still. Because that's when you get caught up in a wave, bro, and you start tumbling around, you don't know which way's up, which way's down. If you start panicking, and I've done this, bro, you start swimming deeper. And then you're like, oh shit, because you think up is down and left is right. Like, you're all disoriented. So if you just stop and you just let it tumble you until it just, and you're just like, and next thing you know, because of buoyancy and stuff, you're like, oh, this must be up. And then you swim up. And that's what I was doing earlier, bro. And I ended up hitting like a just under 9 minutes. It was like 840 something with this. I think I said 60, but it's really like 40 pounds on this vest. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm saying when I'm like experiencing all the hermetic principles in my life right now. It's so sick, dude. It's like this oneness, and it might even be at like non-duality, because I'm not even at a place where like there's not good and bad. Everything's just like a vibration and a frequency, and it's all waves, and like it's really hard to put words on it. It's like nothing is good or bad. Things just are as they are. And it's either from a place of selfish self-centeredness, which is like a low vibration. It's for me, by me, me, or it's like me radiating, or like, you know what I'm saying, the universe is happening for me. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like there is really isn't good or bad. There's just like clean vibrations and frequencies that are like love and like stuff like that. And then there's like low, which are still like really strong high frequencies and vibrations that are like hate and, you know, jealousy. Ooh, that's another one. Like I see people, like when I see the world now, it's like it used to be like, how are these people viewing me, blah blah blah, blah, like shit like that. And now it's like that person's thinking about how other people are viewing them. Or I'm like, or maybe they're even thinking about their family, or maybe like, because I can see where people come from different cultural backgrounds, and like everyone's not only, we're all on the same planet, but we're in different universes within universes. Is almost as like, that's the best way I can explain it. It's like everyone's from a different universe in a different universe inside here, right? And it's all just the one universe experiencing itself, if that makes any sense to you. um and I want to get to like how I get to this every day. And I don't even make it here every day. Some days I get stuck in, because it's happening. Here's how it goes with consciousness. It's happening to me, it's happening by me, and then it's happening for me. And then I would say the last one is probably like it's happening for us, right? So, um, you know, I wake up every morning and I'm like, oh, I'm tired. And I just shut that up real quick. Boy, who ain't tired? And it's easier with like gratitude. You can say and like think and visualize things, right, to try to have gratitude, but it's a lot easier if you go out and experience some real suffering, because like I really don't know what it's like to be in a third world country with nothing, and not even know like about this, like know kind of this world, but not really know the luxuries that, not really like, they can't fathom a life where they get to go home and sit in front of a TV, you know what I mean? So I can't fathom a life where I have to go home and like all I get is a can of, actually I have had experiences like that because I've been like severe drug addiction where like all I had was a park bench and a can of beans. So but what I am saying is it takes work, and it's work I enjoy doing every day to get, because I like radiating. Like I say in some of my other videos is like I radiate, dude, I just always have a lot of motion in me. And like if I don't take care of it, that shit becomes an emotion, bro. You drop a bean on that bitch, that's emotion. And if I get up in the morning and I make it a me motion, I go ahead and get myself out of the way for the day. So I'm not going through the day rushing to get home so I can have my time. I take my time in the morning, bro. I make that me motion. So when I go out in the world, bro, that flip that him upside down, bro, we got we motion. And that's what I like. I like sharing my energy with people. You ain't got none here. Here you go. Here you go. And like yesterday at work, I know I could tell some people's energies were off. I could see people in different realms or spectrum or stuff. Like I could see people stuck in their head. I could see people here in the now. I could see people anxious about the future. It was wild. Like it's like so in religious text it talks about the silent observer, right? And also that's on the dollar bill, that all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid. That's symbolization of the silent observer, the all-seeing eye, which silent observer is the subconscious, because it doesn't really, it pays no mind, right? The sound, like when we're operating from the subconscious, the higher self, we're just watching. We're not really taking inventory. It's just observing. Just like last night I had some serious, like yesterday's video I talked about how like people from my past life are like, they're just like passing through. It's so weird. Like it's like I'm having flashes of people from my past life pop in. It's strange to me, and I was like trying to comprehend it, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna pay it anymore. I almost called someone to be like, hey, can you help me figure out what's going on with this? Like someone I know is also like at a higher frequency. I said, you know what, I'm gonna just sleep on it, bro. I'm gonna sleep on it. And then I don't know if you might want to look into Carl Jung's papers on I forget what they're called, but it's basically how to comprehend your dreams. Um, and I slept on it, and I'm at a point in my life where my dreams is like when I go to sleep at night, my mind doesn't just go to crazy places. Like you know how when you're going to sleep, like you start thinking weird shit. No, I'm in control. I'm like I don't want to go there. I visualize and think of where in my future I want to be. That's what I go to sleep to. And then as I'm sleeping, my dreams change because I'm not in conscious control of them, but I am conscious through all my dreams. This has been going on for about 6 or 7 weeks now, where I'm every night when I go to sleep, I'm fully aware that I am asleep, and I'm even observing in that too. But I got the answer to my question I had about 12 hours prior, where I was almost I could tell that it was an emotion influencing me, right? Because it was getting my mind to race. And I was like, I stepped back, right? And I said, let me sleep on it. And I slept on it, and the answer was there. Just so you know, when you get up in the morning and you have a really impactful dream, that first thought is the answer to what that dream was about. Anytime you give it any more thought, that's just the ego trying to mix it up, trying to confuse you, trying to throw you off because it's your subconscious trying to talk to your conscious mind, trying to help you line your cardinal being, your animal mind, or whatever you want to call it, your chameleon mind, with your egoic self, your left hemisphere, your analytical mind. You're trying to bring all three together. You got the front, the middle, and the back. So the front is your cerebral cortex, that's the human mind. The middle is your animal mind, monkeys, chimps, ape shit like that. And the back is your chameleon mind. Um, yeah, man, just enjoy the journey. Like, um, I want to say something to try to help somebody, I guess, but really, what's best is like when people comment stuff, then I can like respond to it. And I'm not saying I have all the answers. Like again, I'm just sharing my experience, my journey, my story, so that hopefully it does help somebody. Uh, that's the whole thing. Is like it's just a journey. It's an adventure to me, and I'm documenting it like this because I wish I had somebody doing that when I was like lost and looking. I was like, man, I wish. Because I was constantly seeking. But if you seek, you'll find the answers because they're not out here; they're in here. Um, on another note, it looks like we got some rotation because we got some trees that are down up there. Uh, yeah, get out there and give it, baby. Create or conform.